Bomb, 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 y'all. Hmm. 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 There we go. Well, I guess the escort who used to do heroin and gave up her children got mad at me and copyright struck me for playing her little video. So now I'm just going to talk shit about her for a few minutes because she's a petty little bitch. So, congratulations, AP. You fucking snitch. You were right. You know what's worse than having the state take your babies? Is that you voluntarily gave up your children. That's what sucks. I didn't remove any comment. AP struck me. Anarchy Princess copyright struck me because she's a petty little bitch. And I guess I was talking too bad about her. So now we'll just can talk a little more shit about her since she wants to be a petty little bitch. And yeah, you didn't. The state didn't take your children. AP, you gave up your children. Tough. It's tough. She'd rather do this and be a mother. Yeah. So I defended the shit out of her. Now she wants to be a little petty bitch and content, and she wants to hang out with women beaters and all this shit. And I will go back and get the video. I'll appeal the copyright. I have three of them, so one is not bad. AP. I mean, I could talk about you being a heroin addict or Andrew. You're so fucking weird, dude. Even if we're gonna fucking, you're a fucking weirdo, dude. Get the fuck out of my chat later, bro. You're fucking weird. Um, yeah, didn't like me. Didn't like me talking about Rooster and all that stuff. I defended the shit out of you. And I shouldn't have. I lost a lot of fucking viewers for that. I did get a couple lefties. I pulled some lefties out of there, out of the cult. Um, not to be in my cult. I'm really not. I don't want a cult. I really don't like being any type of cult leader. I don't want people to bother me. I'd rather people talk shit to me than not talk shit to me. Um, Shit talking's healthy. Um, he's so petty. So petty. Let me smoke my Robocock and fucking wander around DC like a fucking crackhead, like a woman of the night. Wonder if she's gonna strike Giaba tonight. She's running a poll on her. No, you're not allowed. Like, you're not allowed to question the great AP. She won Mother of the Year. She sits on a bench just like people in football who sit on the bench. They're just not really much of a player. They just like come in and out for once in a while when the main team like does the work. That's basically what she does. She spends a lot of time like this is the thing about AP guys. She's like I like pot, right? But I'm not a crackhead pot smoker. I was at one time, but AP's a crackhead pot smoker, and she always keeps this plate with a paper clip. She's always got this nasty ass paper plate full of resin. She picks her bowls out and then puts the resin on. She keeps like a resin plate. Like I've seen some meth heads do that. Yeah, so that's one thing about AP. Like she keeps like this plate of resin. It's the weirdest thing. I am doing this for educational purposes, and I haven't copyright struck anybody, no matter how much shit they talk. I really don't. She's an angry parent. Well, she's not a parent. She gave up her kids. And I defended her with that. And I didn't ask questions because, oh, you can't have fucking conversation with her because she's too busy thinking about getting Adderall and fucking being all fucking drugged out on it all the time, right? Like, or getting weed. She's a crackhead. She's a crackhead with weed. Some of y'all are crackheads with weed. Like, I smoke weed. But some of y'all, I told her that it was good to get rid of the kids, right? Because there were some fucking psychopaths. Like Star Fox, like the one that she has in her chat on her panel and in Baldy's thing. Yeah, like people like that. But when you're interacting with those psychopaths, Telescope, it looks like Telescope fell off of the AP sim train too with G Abbott. She had no problem hanging out with them. Fair use does use it, but YouTube will play it safe and copyright strike it, because what she just did was she just did legal action against me saying that I copyrighted her. But unfortunately for her, this is added value. My little watermark, this little live thing right here, right here, this thing right here, and right there, and then me being in the picture right there during the video means that I added value to that content. And so I guess she wanted me to talk about her, so I'll talk about her. Yeah, so she does this. She's got this like little resin plate that she has all the resin on, and not a very tidy house. What you see on stream is tidy, but shit was just a shit show. I slept on her couch. It was the most uncomfortable couch ever. Worst furniture. She has no design, no feng shui whatsoever. She's not putting any love into the decorations in her house. To sit here and talk shit, but after you copyright strike me, I guess I'm going to spend a couple more minutes on this until I move forward. I did have somebody on here, but you guys missed. Somehow it went blank right when I. So sorry, Carl, for my little thing here. She shouldn't be casting stones when she lives in a glass house. Exactly. I thought it was good that the kids left. I don't like talking about people's kids. It's part of the conversation with her. It's a valid fucking thing. Like this IP2 or this streaming or having 100 people in your live or 200 people, is that more important than having the children? Like, I don't know what happened with the children because she never had any conversation with me about it. So I can't even begin to pretend that I know what the fuck is going on or what is true, because she lied about so many fucking things that, and they're like little lies. And I see them now, like a friendship. Yeah. The resin plate was just one thing that was kind of disgusting. Always busy, but she has nothing to do. There's a lot of, I know some meth heads that are like that. She's got no job. She's got no commitments. She's got no anything. Her priority when she works up is how she's going to do. Yeah, I know I'm better than this. Just give it another minute or two, and then we'll move past it. I'm a little salty that I got copyrighted. So she wanted me not to talk about it. Yeah, I hate this too. Shall we move on here? I'm gonna put someone come up and save me. Save me from this shit. Save me. Change the narrative. Honor me. Come on. Let's get some fucking you get some drunk people. Get some drunk people on here. Yeah, dude, if she's pet, like, I'm gonna call this shit out. Like, someone was saying, I talked to Direwolf, and Direwolf is like, you're gonna burn bridges calling her a prostitute and saying that she lost her kids. And I said, well, is that the truth? Did I lie? Did I say something that was not truthful? All right, here we got some fucking. All right, we're changing the subject, guys. Thank you. I am bigger than this shit. Sorry, I was in my fields. I just got fucking copyright struck. So that's changing.
All right.
All right. Sorry, you got disconnected the last time.
No, that's cool. I got a new topic. Let's talk about AP.
Oh, you want to talk about AP? Okay, go ahead. I'd love to hear it. Like, it's not me talking about it, so it's okay, right? If it's not me.
It's that ugly picture of her that you put up there. That's what she'll hit you with.
She'll hit me with?
Yeah, you had her picture up there.
Oh,
so she's petty, but you can appeal it and win it.
Yeah. What do you think about AP? Honestly,
kind of homely looking.
Personal. Let's go with character. Let's go with character. We don't have to go. We don't have to attack physical shit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Who are you? Do you want to identify yourself?
I'm a male.
You're a male. Should I call you Leaf?
You can call me WTF.
What the fuck? Okay, fair enough.
That's petty.
Oh, it's gonna be like K Money's copyright strike.
Yeah. Yeah, she never retracted on that, did she?
No, she didn't.
She's still trying to ride it, acting like she accomplished her mission. Even Darren didn't even respond to you correctly about that either.
Yes, because if it was true, if K Money did have 2 copyright strikes on me, and then AP hit me with another copyright strike, I wouldn't have this channel right now.
Yep, and then Darren would have had an 18-hour live show about it.
Fucking Darren, boss talk, bro.
I know. Ugh.
Jesus, they don't know who the fuck you are. I think we're gonna keep it that way, huh? What the fuck?
What the what?
What the what? Have you been watching this show for a while?
Yeah.
You been on any other panels?
No, I haven't. It's my first.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
But let's talk about Ozone and beating up all the women that he had babies with.
Okay. So he was beating up women and he had babies with them. Let's hear about that. This is the Ozone channel.
Ozone, the cop killer, shot the Daytona police officer in the head, and everybody's yelling out like boss talk, and Little Black are yelling out saying that he's innocent. He protected, he's self-defense. It's their theory behind it. What's the other theory that's funny? Oh, the cop committed suicide in the middle of it. That one's entertaining.
Wait, the cop committed suicide? Wait, what?
Yeah, Otho didn't shoot him. He committed suicide. They've been going around saying that.
Who said that?
Little Black and Darren's little circle of I have to be nice. Special friends.
Special friends, yeah. Say it nice. Don't be.
No, I am.
Yeah,
I am.
And who is the woman beater? Matt wants to know who the woman beater is.
His name is Ozone Wallace.
Okay.
His real name is, his government name is Otho Wallace.
Othel Wallace, and he's all over the mainstream media, correct?
Right.
And recently, I just saw a bunch of Fox clips on him, and so he's a talking point right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep, because he's facing the death penalty. And the Florida law is basically you don't have to have 12 votes. You can have 8 to get the death penalty. And let's say he does beat it and doesn't get the death penalty, he'll end up going to jail for the rest of his life. So they're all expecting him to walk out and they're going to have a party with him. It's not going to happen.
Yes. So for those who haven't been paying attention and think that I'm crazy ranting psychopath, Otho Wallace was part of the NFAC, correct?
Right. And the
He
new
was
Black Panther.
He's a Black Panther.
And part of a gang out of Miami called Zopound gang. It's a Haitian group.
Okay.
And him and his mother, they're involved in the circle of that gang. Watchdog has a whole video on it, breaks it down, explains everything.
On Ozone, I think we watched a little bit on that on the last stream. I was just getting into it. So why is it important to you to follow that?
Because the officer's not around to come out and argue.
So are you pro police? Are you like back to blue, or where do you stand on the police?
Not a dude was doing his job and got killed, and they're all going around, bashing his character and making statements about the police officer who was just doing his job. He was out looking for a gray Honda CRV. And when he went into this apartment complex, Otho was sitting in a gray Honda HRV, but he had it backed up into the bushes. You could see the license plate on the back of it. So the police officer got out to go and talk to him. And there's a live body cam that shows everything.
Do you mind logging out and logging back in? Something's up with your speaker.
Oh, I'm running.
You're running.
Yeah.
Who are you, Forrest Gump?
Yeah, pretty much.
My fat ass should probably be out there running with you.
Already got 6 miles in, so.
All right.
All right. I'm headed to the house, so I'll get back on later.
All right. Well, thank you for filling us in on Ozone. And yeah, if you come back on, if you got better reception, come back on.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. What the fuck? Is that what you want to be known as? WTF?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. If there's anybody in the comments saying shit about me, fuck you.
Yeah, go fuck yourself, everybody. He's allegedly running. We don't really know. He's probably 400 pounds sitting on the fucking computer right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I just rotated the chair. I'm out of breath.
I'll change it to Gump. Next time you come on, you're going to be Gump, okay?
Okay.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
Man. All right, bye.
Handsome. So, Forrest. Yes, anybody else? I'm going to go back to shit talking if you guys just don't come up here. Save me. Come on. I'll address this comment. Let's see. What happened with kids is CPS basically told her to give the kids to the father's family or he will take them, and she would have gotten more time. So she signed the kids over to protect herself. Allegedly. We don't know. She's never really addressed it. She made some kind of statements like that, but she also told me that Lolo left her Discord because of Rooster, and Lolo said that was a lie. So what the truth is and what reality is hard to say. And with CPS cases, there is no receipts that we can get. That shit's all confidential and sealed. Unless y'all know how to get CPS case shit, man, you ain't seen that shit because it deals with juveniles and it's sealed. So no one knows what the fuck really happened. What I do know is that every time I hung out with AP, I offered numerous times to take her to go see her kids. And she never once wanted to go and take me up on that offer. So that doesn't mean anything. I never heard her talk to her kids on the phone. I know nothing about her kids. And Chihuahua Files, I agree. She needs the truth spoken about her just like she dishes it. If you could sit here and fucking talk all this shit about people, you should be able to take it, right? Like, I know when I talk shit that people are going to call me a fat fucker, right? I'm fat. I know that when I talk shit that people are going to call me fat, right? I could stay home and not say anything and mind my own fucking business, and then I could be upset when people call me fat. But if I'm up here talking shit about everyone, telling them I'm snitching on them and they're going to jail, there's going to be fucking pushback, right? That's just fucking the real world. And some of y'all have fallen under the fucking little IP, the parasocial relationship with AP, that she's some great person. And I do think that she's capable of being a good person. But she doesn't act like it. She continues to do things that self-destruct and self-regulate who she is. So that's the reality of it, right? Like, that is the truth behind it. Don't talk shit. Fuck around and find out, right? That's what everyone wants to fucking say. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. It's stupid. Very manipulative. And I supported her and promoted her for many, many, many months. And so now I have to distance myself because I look like a fucking douchebag for fucking standing up and not speaking up about some shit. Like, now, I didn't hide any fucking wife beat. I never had any wife beaters, any of that shit. I didn't tell you all that she was a prostitute because it wasn't my fucking business. I think prostitution is great and should be legal. You want to suck a dick for $5? Suck a dick for $5. I wouldn't mind going down to the corner and putting out $5 and getting my dick sucked. It's god awful truth. You know? But guess who?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. I'm just having a hard time talking about the kids. I think the kids should be left out of this.
I think I 100% agree with you.
I mean, shit talking everyone else, that's a whole different story. But when it comes to the kids, I'm just not feeling it. So I don't know.
Well, I agree with you, and we will stop talking about the kids. It's I guess I started saying it. I'm definitely in my feels now that I got a copyright strike from.
Well, I get it. You're a little upset. I don't blame you. I just wonder if she went over and struck G too, she's over there playing the video again, and they're going, they were talking about, the chat was going crazy last night about AP. So, I just, this just is a whole big shit show. And it's like, everyone's just talking about one another, and that's all that's keeping it going. And the chat is what keeps it going.
Yeah.
From one chat to the next. And the story, it's like me calling you on the phone and telling you something, and then you calling the next person, and the story's changing as it goes on down to the next call.
Yeah. And like, I really don't talk about anyone's kids. If
I haven't heard you know. Yeah.
And this is kind of the first, and it's like, I hate the like physical attacks on people.
I'm glad you stopped him from doing that. That was a good thing.
Yeah, I don't like the physical attacks. The character, like in court, you go after someone's character, right? And I guess in my defense, it goes to the character of who she is now, and it's not who I thought she was before.
But I think everybody's seeing that. There are a lot of people that are seeing that. It's not just you. I've seen it. I think the chat will probably agree with me. As I can't see the chat, have no clue. I think this is the first time I've ever come on panel, so I don't know how to. Oh wait, there's chat.
Julie Curtis said, "Let's talk about how she's an ignorant bitch." Then.
Oh God.
What's your honest opinion? If we're gonna talk a little shit, and I'm not asking you to talk shit. I'm asking you. How long?
I think AP's lost. That's what my honest opinion is. I think she's doesn't know what she wants to do with her life. Has been through trauma, as we know, because she was on panel with you with Gary's wife. Yeah. So we seen a side of AP that we'd never seen before, and some from you as well. We could tell that your heart was, hurting for these women. So I think that I don't think she's got through her trauma, and I think she's lost, and she doesn't know where she belongs or what she's supposed to be doing it, and she's faking it. She's faking it. She's going to try to fake it till she makes it. But let me tell you what, faking it till you make it doesn't work, because you have to deal with your issues or you're never going to move forward. That's how I feel. I'm not here to judge her. I'm not here to judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. There's only one judge, in my opinion. So I'm just from an outsider looking in. These chats, especially G. Abbott's chat, like that is horrendous chat. That is, for women that say that they are for women to be on panel and talk the way these women talk, like last night, the way Sable and G just sits back there and lets these women just attack each other and call each other names, and the chat's going crazy, and it is nothing but spewing hate, all hate. And all I see is hate, hate, hate in every one of these chats. And it's just like, some days I just like gotta shut it off, because you're just looking at so much hate, and this world is already in trouble. So just to keep watching that hate is just, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I don't think we need to be tearing each other down. We should be, to me, I want to be around people that pick me up. I don't want to be around people that pull me down.
Yeah.
She needs to work. I see this curse travel of the traveler. She needs to work, period. Well, maybe she does need to work. But is that for you to say it or me to say it? It's not our life. We are only in control of our own lives. We're in control. I'm in control of my reaction to whatever D.O.A. says to me or any of you say to me. I am the only person that is in control of my reaction to what you say to me. And I'm the only one in control of my own life. People are paying her. If you want her to get a job, then people need to stop paying her. She's not going to have a choice but to get a job. But for everybody that keeps handing out all this money, just like to Master Grifter tonight, them grifting for their truck payment, and Red grifting for his cigarettes and his smoky sticks, and everybody's just handing the money out. If people stop handing the money out, things will change.
Do you think that will happen? Honestly,
no, I don't, because people want the entertainment. They love the drama. They want to be in the drama. And I mean, I've been watching this stuff since it started, since TPC. So I've been watching a lot of it. I seen all of it. You know, I think people got, I think people, TPC broke a lot of people's hearts. It broke the spirit of what everybody thought was going to happen. And then, excuse me, I think TPC broke the spirit of what we all thought was going to happen, right? And the changes that was going to be made. And from then, when it didn't happen, a lot of people's spirits were broken, and they were, what's the word? I'm looking for. There's something I really want to say, and I'm just looking for it in my brain right now. So it's like, we were freedom drunk. That's the word I want to say. We
I
were
like that
freedom
word.
drunk, right?
So would you consider yourself a chud?
No, absolutely not.
Why are you not a
I'm
chud?
not left or right. I'm in the middle. And I'm for right. I'm not for wrong. I'm for the best person that I think that is going to do the best for this country and for the people. Most importantly, the people of the United States, not Ukraine or not China or not any other country, but the people of the United States.
And what over the last year, like what are some of your favorite moments, if you don't mind me asking?
Wow, that's a big question. You know, and I will say this too. I was with you on like the J6, your feelings of the J6. I was at first for it, and then I was against it, and then I seen what happened to Taylor, and it was like I'm for him, rooting for him, you know. And I think that there are a lot of. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm getting
No,
bad
that's
feedback.
my fault.
Okay, I think a lot of there's a lot of mental health issues going on, just like with Danny, you know.
You
Favorite
think
moments.
you
I
think
think
Danny's got some
absolutely, absolutely. You know,
what,
I
what
don't.
what's your honest opinion on Danny Wayne?
My honest opinion on Danny, I'm a little shaky on Danny.
You're a little
Um,
what?
a little shaky on him because I think that I don't think he would intentionally hurt someone, but I don't know. Danny's he's out there. Some of his remarks were a little scary, and you know, we seen what happened with Taylor with what he did. Um, I
Do you
think
do
Danny
you
has some
do you
mental
support
issues.
do you support Trailer or Taylor 100% in his beliefs, or where do you sit on that with
No, no,
Taylor?
no, absolutely not. I am not. I'm not saying no. Absolutely, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying what happened to him, like right now with them holding him. I think Taylor needed some mental health too. He served. He was in Afghanistan. Why did Justin get out with what he did? And he was in Afghanistan with Taylor, and they both have post traumatic stress. Why did one get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why is one getting treated one way and one getting the other one? Is Taylor getting the help that he needs? No, he's in a jail cell. He's not getting his mental health that he needs. All he wanted to do is have one man talk to him, and that man would not talk to him, McCarthy, you know? So he wanted the truth to come out. And why on earth did nobody, why would Mickey, knowing that he was in the room with her daughter, never ever ask that man what he's seen or what he heard or want to see what he see when he had a full video of it? Why would she not want to know what he had to say? Think about that. I would want, if it was my daughter, I'd want to know.
So did you you're on you were we Ann has an official panel right now, but someone keeps making a lot of noise. What the fuck? No. Sorry.
That's all right.
Um and
And one of my favorite moments, I think, was when TPC was coming through across the United States, and to see the American people out there with the flags on the pass, you know, the overpasses. You know, that warmed my heart. I think that was when people really thought something was going to be done, even though we were all taken for a ride. I would have to say that was probably one of my most, the best moments, that feelings that I could feel,
So,
seeing people come together.
do you feel like the People's Convoy was breaking the law by doing the convoy?
Well, why were they escorted? I mean, is a convoy against the law? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
My understanding is if you have 3 or more trucks, you're supposed to have a permit. It's like a parade for a convoy.
Well, then they were breaking the law, but why would police officers escort them?
It's a good question.
Exactly. They were being escorted from state to state, pretty much. There was only a few states that didn't really want to escort them.
Would you consider yourself Republican before, as you watched the People's Convoy, and then you came towards the middle, or how did that?
No, I've always been an independent.
Always been independent. And so what attracted you to the convoy?
We were sitting here through COVID and all that, and I just had nothing to do. And I seen Ottawa. I really didn't watch a lot of Ottawa. I came into Ottawa towards the end when people were getting arrested and that was all going on. And then I heard about the People's Convoy, and it was kind of like something to do, something to watch rather than the crap on TV, and just kind of got pulled in that way.
Interesting.
And then all these truckers. My dad was a truck driver his whole life. So, I was all about the trucks.
And were you always a fan of D.o.A. or?
Was I always a fan of D.o.A.? No, yeah. I was not.
Why not?
Because I was I was freedom drunk. And when you left and you started spewing all this stuff, I was in disbelief, and I was just like, what is wrong with this dude? Like, why is he saying all this stuff? But then the more I kept silently watching your videos when you would put them out, I was kind of starting to collect dots and pay more attention. And then when CPC went down, then it was, yeah, he's right. He's absolutely right.
And I know this makes some people uncomfortable with this question, but I do it for my own selfishness of trying to be better. But what have you disliked about me in the last couple months, the last 4 or 5 months here? What have you not what have you
what I have trouble with you about?
Yeah.
Well, I did have trouble with you talking about women's appearances, which, yes. No, the dress. Yeah, I wasn't a little thrilled about the dress, really, but I was just like, okay, I'll roll with it. But
you didn't like me in a dress? I thought I looked pretty sexy, but whatever. Maybe I got to lose a few pounds.
The first set of makeup was horrible, and then the second one was better. So I'll give you that. I didn't like the part about calling women names. I didn't like you touching on women's, our appearances. I didn't care for that. I think you've grown a lot along your journey. You have grown a lot.
Is this okay?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, who do we have on here? I can't see the screen.
It's what the fuck.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad you're back. What the fuck?
I'm sorry,
then I can get off of here.
No, hold on. We gotta do what you like about me. Well, first finish off what you don't like about me.
I like your blue eyes.
No, you say that.
I like that you shake it up. I do like that you shake it up. I do like it that you push it to the end, but then know when you need to stop. I like that you take us on, different adventures. I do like that. We don't have to stay with the same old crap all the time.
I'll be right back.
You spice it up. So I do like that. Because every time, every now and then people need downtime off that shit show.
Off the drama.
Yeah. Does anybody else got anything else to say? I'm trying to catch up on the chat a little bit.
No dressing in dress, Scott. You guys just don't like my dress or what? Like, I thought.
Well, I just think it's a really touchy subject, and it's to each his own. I'm not against gays. I'm not against trans, and what I am against is the story time with the children. I think grooming our children is off the table completely, 100%. Leave our kids alone. Let them grow up. Let them make their choices as they grow up. Don't be grooming them. And I understand parents have the right to take their children to this, but it's just like it's the entertainers that are inside that are coaching. You know what I'm saying? If the events weren't there, the parents wouldn't be taking them there.
Well, I'm real scared to go and tell a parent what to do with their children.
Well, of course, yeah.
And so taking the kids to the library for story time, like personally, I'm not willing to tell a parent that they can't do it. And my question to you then is, do you have that same feeling of someone being like a librarian that would make you feel uncomfortable? Or is it just
no? Did you hear what I said? I said if those events weren't happening for children, then parents wouldn't have to make that decision. Wouldn't be taking their children to that. You understand where I'm coming from? So it should be 18 and over. If we put 18 and over on movies, why can't we do 18? Bars are 18 or 21 and up. Why can't we put a 18 plus on that? That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah, and I guess I would a man with a kilt reading to children be an issue?
No, because a kilt is actually, that is an attire for a different country. So I don't think so. No, not my opinion. Now, if he was sitting there with his legs open and no underwear, that would be an issue.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if the content of the books that are reading are talking about chopping off body parts or things of
that's a problem too.
That's absolutely a problem.
Yeah, agree.
I guess I did have a problem with it, but as I've dealt with so many people talking about it, I'm not willing to tell parents that they can or can't do something with their children. So if I tell a parent that they can't dress their kid up in a fucking dress, or that they can't go to this drag thing or this, there's a lot of mixed messaging is you have a couple different events. You have drag events and you have story time. Two totally separate things that somehow get intermingled into the whole conversation.
Well, why do it's okay to do story time, but why do you got to dress up in a full blown outfit? LGBT, whatever, drag. Why do you got to dress up in drag to do a story? Why can't you just walk in there in your normal clothes and do story time? I don't understand. Who twerks at story time? Who brings children in there and lets them put dollar bills in grown ass people's?
Yeah, that's all bringing into another conversation. Twerking. Like, should little girls?
Oh, I'm sorry, but I just seen a comment on here. That's
no, I see. I saw the comment.
Yeah.
I saw the comment. I'm not judging because I understand everyone's side.
I agree with you, Curse of the Traveler. I believe things are out of control. Absolutely. And our children are young and innocent, and we're corrupting them. We're making them grow up faster than what they have to. Why? Why are we doing this to our kids?
Well, my one friend corrected me when I asked him I asked his son, who was in like first or second grade, if he had a girlfriend. And he said that my kids, we don't have those conversations. I don't want them. They don't need to be talking about that. Doesn't need to be the topic of discussion. And so that was just me like inquiring about it, like, ooh, do you have any girlfriends? And I see everyone's side on it. I think that if you don't like it, then you have that right to not like it. And that doesn't mean that you're anti-gay or anti-trans. You're just not comfortable with that act. It's a personal belief, whether it be a personal belief or
I've
religious
seen a
belief.
book online that they were reading in these story times, and it was literally an adult holding a penis while the child was sitting there and she was licking it. Are you kidding me? Are
Well,
you kidding me? I
that's
have
not
grandkids.
that's not story time. I mean,
It was a
I'm just
book.
this is a thing. Like every situation, every story time, whether it be in Virginia Beach or Madison or in Santa Fe or somewhere, Texas, everything is unique and specific to that event. What's happening at that event might not be happening at this other event. Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
So it's hard to say that, like, at every drag show that they're sitting down with kids that they're licking cocks and they're twerking. Does that make sense? Or saying that the children need to cut their dicks off.
It's just it's beyond my comprehension, to be
Yeah.
quite honest
I
with
hate
you.
even talking about it because
Yeah.
it's
It's
such a
absolutely
fucking
sickening. It's sickening. It's like, you know what? Do you? I don't care. If you're an adult, do you? Why does it have to be public? Why does this all have to be public? You're in your home, do what you want to do. You're in a bar, go do what you want to do. If you want to go to look, I've been to the drag queen shows. I've been there. I forget the name of the place, but it's where you go in and eat dinner and they put on a performance show. You know, I've been there. I've seen it. It's all shits and giggles, whatever. But I'm a grown adult. I was an adult. There were no children in the room.
yeah.
That's a choice I made to go with my girls. But why do kids have to be there? That is no place for children. Why are we taking the innocence away from our children? Hell, their brains don't even develop until they're 25 years old. So, I've raised kids, I got grandkids. No, I see what
So you're a granny?
yeah, I'm a
Yes.
nana.
Nana. Okay.
Yeah, no granny, no
I love
grandma,
the
no.
grannies.
I wanted to be Lola, but my daughter wasn't having it. We're all named, all the grandparents have named different names. It's so funny. When I grew up, it was grandma and grandpa, and it's like 4 different grandparents and 4 different names. The kids call them all, call us all by different names. It's so funny. So, but yeah, I think about honestly, I think about what kind of, they're young and, they're going to grow and go into school and middle school. And like, what are my grandkids? How is this world going to be for my grandkids? When I'm gone, what kind of life are they going to be living?
Well, do
It's
you
pretty
think that
scary
there's going to be a
thought.
bunch of boys running around in dresses without dicks?
I'm so sorry. What? Excuse me?
You said where this world's coming to. Like,
Yeah.
so is it a bunch of men in dresses without dicks?
It's unbelievable, and it's like,
uh,
oh my gosh.
so with that, but like, do you support circumcision?
Well, yeah, I do. But that was only because I can say some of my grandkids are circumcised. One of them was not. That's the parents' choice. They made that decision. It wasn't my decision to make. We were trained that it was for cleanliness. It's each his own.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
that thing.
I always find it fascinating that there's an argument that the children are
But we
cut.
didn't know any better then. We were
I know.
told this is what needs to be done.
I'm just pointing
Yeah.
out the hypocrisy of it. I'm not you personally.
Oh, no, I get it. I understand that because
It
when you
seems
say
like
mutilating body parts, that
you're cutting
technically
off the dick,
is, yeah.
like, and for a
But it's
religious,
skin. It's skin.
it's a
It's
dick.
foreskin.
It's a dick.
So
yeah, I've been against the circumcision for like forever, and and so when I hear someone saying about the drag shows and the mutilating of the bodies, I always come to that argument like, okay, so we're not for the circumcision then. but
Right.
it's different. And in some areas they cut the vagina off, so but that's not considered okay anymore.
Well, I mean, what's the difference when a woman has to be get her tubes tied?
Well, are they doing it as a minor? What the
Well,
fuck?
no, they're not. But I'm just saying, when a woman has her tubes tied, they're cutting parts off of her body so that she doesn't get pregnant again. And I guess it's her choice. It's a choice and a decision she makes. But as a baby, no, they're not making that choice. But like I said, in my era, now they say they give the parent a choice. Like they gave my daughter a choice. Do you want them circumcised or not? So the parent gets to make a choice. Back then it was just like, okay, we're taking them to, to do this. So it doesn't hurt them, blah, blah, blah. We didn't know what we know now.
Yeah.
So it's like, would I think different? I would probably think different about it now because of everything that's happening, around us in the world and what they're doing to children. And, these letting kids mutilate their bodies, cut their breast off and their penises off is just absolutely sickening. It's disgusting.
I think making a decision to do anything, a tattoo, a body piercing, any of that should be done at the age of 18. That's
My God, never trust a librarian. Are you serious, Ruth?
I think
Holy moly.
I don't know what the librarian we got. What the fuck is on here? And Lucy, I'm not sure who Lucy is.
It's what the WTF back on here?
What?
Is he back? WTF?
Yeah, WTF, are you here? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
okay.
Lucy?
Yeah, chime in at any time, by all means.
Oh, I had to go get a headset. I'm not sure why the feedback was going on.
Oh, well,
Does it sound better?
Yeah, you sound good here.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Hi, Lucy.
Yeah, I just ran 14 miles.
You just ran 14 miles too?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Are you bullshitting me, Lucy?
Of course I am. I'm just trying to outdo WTF.
Okay. I don't know
Well, I mean, all right.
Who is Lucy?
I'm definitely sitting on my couch, although I do occasionally run. But
That's okay,
certainly-
Lucy. I'm laying in my bed.
It's late at night. I don't know who runs at night. Someone who has no fear of a serial killer, that's for sure.
He might be
Oh,
the serial killer.
Maybe he is. That's what I was just going to say.
That's why I run. I practice to catch people.
You ain't gonna catch me.
As long as
He's
you
not
ain't
running
hiding
from
in
anybody.
bushes. Hiding in bushes and jumping out.
Hey, I've done it before.
It took me so long to change my settings that I lost track of the conversation. When I first started, we were still talking about AP. I come in, we were talking about circumcision. So I lost the plot somewhere.
Well,
Me
what do
too.
you want to comment on,
kinda
Lucy? I'm
same
not
thing,
sure
ain't
who you
it?
are here.
Oh, I don't know. I can just jump in on anything. Let's see. If we back
You
up to AP,
You want to say something about AP?
I do. I would like to say that at first, I think like a lot of people just became acquainted with AP, not personally, but just she entered my consciousness when the first day that she showed up in DC. I'd been following TPC as it traveled across the country, headed for, eventually DC, but and I guess I've always been, I had no idea at that time what a troll was, but I knew that every time you tried to have a differing opinion from most of the live streamers, that they just immediately shut you down, called you a troll, and they let you get away with it for a little while and then just blocked you because they didn't want to hear any other opinion other than, oh my gosh, yes, this is amazing. Truckers are going to save America. They're going to shut down DC and completely take over the government and change all of the policies, and the politicians will bend to their will. And I remember saying, Does that sound really realistic to you?
Not at all.
Honestly, not at all. What this is, maybe you're sending a message and you might get noticed, but it's going to be a short flash in the pan. And you're getting a lot of love and it's building, your excitement for it as they would travel under the overpasses, and there'd be the people with the flags and people waving. So it was really pumping them up. But it was never, in my opinion, realistic. And I think that by the time it was worn down to the end, when Brian and the rest finally fled the coop, and you had what was left was distilled down to people who either didn't have anywhere to go or didn't want to go back to where they had to go. They were willing to stay, whatever the conditions, living in that hot parking lot. And they were willing to follow Santa, David. And I think that
Sorry.
What's that?
I'm sorry, I sneezed.
Oh, bless you. Or was that your victim in the basement?
Screaming loser.
And it has been like the best entertainment of the year, watching this. I often have to hide. I only have a few people I can really talk to. Most people can't know how deep down in this rabbit hole I am in this.
Oh yeah.
It has been wonderful. And I think that, so when they finally went to DC, that was awesome and exciting. David getting arrested right away. And even the hopefulness, they were so excited going and believing, even they, a couple dozen people, were still somehow going to shut down all of DC and completely change the government. It was, had to give it to them, their little hopefulness, but it was the most unrealistic thing ever. And so anyway, when, and stop me if I'm rambling, I've not been on a panel before, but when, oh no, I lied. I was one time with Wizzy, and he got really angry and yelled and hung up on me. And that was like,
of course.
That sounds like Wizzy.
Yeah. And he just explodes in anger with no warning.
Yeah.
You're just talking 1 minute and I think because he thinks he's sort of nudging you and manipulating you into seeing his point of view. And if you don't come around in a certain amount of time, he just blows the gasket.
But don't we see somebody else that's like that too, that runs a panel? She doesn't blow up, but she does do the manipulation part.
Talking about G. Abbott?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not probably as familiar with hers, but the day that, I will say of what I've learned, what I know, because I come from a small town, what I know about protesting now came from the AP's knowledge. Like watching that girl be as brave as she was in the face of grown men who were aggressive toward her, in the face of police, the way she knew, at least in DC, we learned the rules are very different when you get out into West Virginia and other places. But at least in DC, where, DC is the seat of our government, what I've noticed then is that they're not fazed by protesters. They expect it. It's part of their daily life there. Groups of all kinds from all walks of life with all causes show up. So they don't get that ruffled. And so watching her, I think she has got some huge balls. I think that she's a smart girl. I think that she obviously, as time goes on, you can't help but feel like you get to know some of you. Scott, that's where I learned you. I still remember the first day I saw you rolling in that van, and people had said about who it was, and you had your pineapple glasses on. And I was like, ooh, now who is this rolling into town? This is new. And I'm telling you, when you get out, I think you had your fur on, at least the first day. And it was entertainment, but also brains. And that's what you and AP, I think, both bring into your own styles. But you were like this pure level of entertainment that came with brains and bravery at the same time. And I can't tell you how many times I laughed. I still think, but anyway, so with AP, I think that as time goes on and the longer we watch you guys, all of the ones that whoever we tune in to watch, more about your lives gets revealed. You talk about things, you share things, you can't help but start to. So I think that what I'm looking for not looking for, but as I'm watching and observing, is I'm not expecting you all to be, I have no expectations when you first roll in. You reveal yourselves to us. And I think the people we continue to watch are either because you fall into, people say, oh, you simp for this person or that person. But for me, I find the people I tend to want to watch are the people that either entertain me or that I end up sharing sensibilities with, or that I have a joint cause with, even if I don't have to think they're a great person, but
You
they
don't
maybe
have to
don't.
agree with everything they do either, but you can
Exactly.
find that
There will be some
connection.
lines that if
Yeah,
they're crossed, I can't watch.
right.
Or
But
someone you can run with.
Yeah.
excuse me. Yeah,
Someone you could run with.
I could run from.
Or run
Um,
from. Yeah.
so when I feel bad when I watch AP, I feel like probably she had. I haven't heard much. She's revealed some that she did not have a good experience growing up. I don't know what her parental situation was. She seems to be able to be a loner, which I admire. The girl can go out at any time of day or night and trust herself to be able to handle whatever situation and be prepared for it. And she doesn't seem to be afraid on the streets. It's admirable, and I think she's pretty badass in that way. I'm also scared for her all because,
Yeah. Scary.
you don't know who you're going to run into. I
Summer's
think she
that
has
way too.
to fend for herself a lot, and I think probably has maybe made
Made
some,
her strong.
yeah, and
Yeah.
she has some flaws, and I think
Hmm.
those flaws, I think she gets by however she has to get by.
And
And
pay attention to the eyes because they lead to the soul.
yeah, I think not obviously not all of her
Yeah.
choices are good choices. I
Mhm.
think that some of those choices were probably made out of necessity. I think she finds it difficult to fit into a category of um, finding a job and holding down a 9 to 5 and living in that sort of a routine life. And I think people like AP, people like you, Scott, people like some of the most interesting people who lead the most interesting lives cannot live with routine
I can't.
and having expectations that you're going to
Yeah.
be at this place at this time
Yeah.
every day. Other
I'm going to
people,
have to agree with you on that
well, they say the difference
because
between,
Scotty and AP do have some similarities there.
well, and that's what I've
Yeah.
always described it. The few people I've talked about it is that the two of you are both sort of whirlwinds, and every so often you link up, your power joins, and the two of you are like a huge force to be reckoned with. But don't mistake, you're not one unit. You're completely doing different things and have different personalities. And so I think, I don't know if it was you, Scott, who first talked about it last year after like this Mel and Paul left, and um I'm drawing a blank. What's her name was there? Lori. And you finally had to say to people, look, we are not a cohesive unit. We are individuals who happen to have shared this shared cause that we're all here, but we are completely independent units with independent sensibilities, independent personalities, completely untethered to each other. Just happened to be during that period of time you were there in sort of a joint cause. And that's why I think that you and AP sometimes, I don't know that you could really ever have. I think a lot of us would like you to have a great friendship. And I think you'll always be sort of bonded in a certain way. But I think you're just so different that you find it difficult to be in each other's gravity for very long. You just get them to break free.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I
And
think because you're both passionate, when you do, you lock horns, you butt heads, you fight, and then you get away and you hate each other for a while. And I'm still optimistic. I mean, if WTF doesn't kill her or you anytime sooner, Lord willing, the creek don't rise, you might still maybe
be
friends.
careful with WTF. You might not know who that fucker is.
I don't.
Right?
That's why I'm not using my real name.
And so I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked. Are you the do
Guess who?
you
Guess who?
do you what was your favorite thing in the whole streamer wars, the whole thing on the National Mall?
Oh my Lord, how could I narrow it down to one thing? Let's see. There were so many. Okay, first of all, just the absolute relentlessness that you all went after them with. The fact that they could not have a minute's peace sitting on that mall. That time that Santa called the police over just because you guys were, he couldn't hear himself think and have a good meeting because you guys were yelling, and the police didn't make you leave. There was a time, Scott, where you were I think you may have had your cape on, but I'm not sure. You were laying in the grass, not too far away from them, just yelling. And they were trying so hard to ignore you. And they were, which is fun when you bounce in and out of the streams and try to, like, I would be like, can they hear him from where they are? And I would pop into their streams. I'd go back to yours so I could hear you well. Then I'd pop back in, like, what are they saying? Is it bothering them? And it was just like, I don't know, because I'm mischievous too. And you always had this mischievous, like the fact that you were enjoying it so much, even though it was serious subject matter. And I was so glad you guys finally went after them with that Marcus at Kopic. How do you say it? Kopic?
Kopic. I'm not even sure.
So that was, so just watching how every day they would be so defeated. Even as the day got started, the minute you guys rolled in, they would be like, oh, shit, can't we get a day without this? And you guys would just roll in with fresh new energy, sometimes fresh new characters, ready to roll. But just watching them, I don't, let me have to think of the night that the truck caught fire was great. The night that oh my gosh, if I would go back.
The tree punch.
Oh, did you?
Oh, that was an epic night.
Be so right. There was, when they left and went back, and you guys, wherever they went, the first time you would roll in after, and pop back up when they thought, just as they thought it was safe to get back in the water. You heard the Jaws thing as you guys rolled in. And when Santa was, I think, so furious when they came back from the Green Acres prank.
Yeah.
And you rolled in and were trolling him on it. Oh, he was so angry because they were, okay, again, unrealistic enough to believe that someone had this great land with a great building and he wanted them to just come live on it for nothing, basically. And they were like, well, of course that sounds realistic. Let's go do it.
And what have you disliked the most about something that I've done or others have done? I like this. I like this criticism of myself.
Oh
Just
my
for me
God,
to
this
be
is
a
going to
better
take a
person.
while. I'll be right back. I got to get some coffee.
Fuck you.
If I'd known there was a quiz, I would have prepared ahead of
Yeah,
time.
right. I wasn't
It's
prepared.
me. I
either.
ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared.
I'll help you remember.
Oh, you get her started there, WTF. Take a turn. I'm afraid at this point you're running some sort of way to monitor my voice and who I am, and I'm going to have to start watching out my window.
There'll probably
I'm
be
just
some
kidding.
videos out there with an altered voice or something.
I'm not that tech savvy, but
Or am I?
So, Chris, I think that when I feel like you get the most negative, Scott, is when I feel like when some of the big days come, like the big long, the ones where it's sensory overload for you. I feel like there's a point afterward where it has been so draining that you almost have, and I'm not saying it in like a diagnostic kind of way, but like a couple of manic days, you are so drained that you can't tolerate other things, other people, things being said. And I feel sometimes that's when you get into your dark place and you go away and something will just sort of pop your bubble and you will spew a lot of venom. And
yes, correct.
and I think it's maybe misdirected, or it comes out in a flood instead of a trickle, and it's something that probably had had you not been completely drained and overloaded and not your best self, you probably wouldn't have gone that dark or that critical of people. And it's hard for you to rein it back in until you kind of recover from all of
And
whatever.
then he thinks about it, and then he apologizes.
And I mean, that can
Yeah,
happen to all
you
of
get
us.
burned a
Which is
lot.
a good quality, that he can actually apologize, because there are a lot of them out there that do not apologize.
True. Although some wounds can heal, but there'll always be a scar.
Oh
And
yeah,
some things you can
yeah,
apologize for, but you can't take back. And
exactly.
I'm not just you. I'm not pointing a finger at just
Yeah.
you.
No. I mean, I asked for you to point a finger at me.
Mhm.
Like I appreciate the criticism because I do fucked up shit, you know, and sometimes I don't even know that I'm being hurtful and I'm hurtful. So I
Yeah.
like asking people what they don't like about me so I could possibly improve on that in the future.
And I think you have a determination to evolve. I think you have a willingness, a desire to, and a determination to, and others don't. When I look at, I cannot occasionally, especially like now when there's not a lot going on, I'll pop into Red's chat, and it's just so gross.
It's the
And
same
it's
thing over
so
and over
vile. And
every
I think
night.
it is. I mean,
Yeah.
they're sort of like, well, who's that fam? That wild and woolly, wonderful whites of West Virginia.
Yeah.
Like they're just, when I pop in there, I'm like, all right, everybody likes a little toilet humor now and then, but they have nothing else going on. And then they take being disgusting as a challenge. And I'm like, okay, but I mean, they love it. And I feel like if those are your sensibilities, then probably someone who pops in there, that's good. If that's their thing, then that's where they're going to stay.
Yeah.
So I think that, of AP, I think that my criticism of her would be, I think too, I think if you're really passionate about something, it's easy to get wound up. I think that I'm not going to get into her family situation. I think probably between she and her exes, she doesn't reveal much, but I think probably sounds like her kids may be with their fathers, and maybe that's a good environment. And she has I think with her, she has a lot of potential that isn't. I would love to see channeled into something that could support her. I would love to see her smoke less marijuana.
Yes.
I've been worried
She
over the
smokes a
last
lot
month.
of weed. A
She's
lot.
just a lost
And
soul.
and to me, that's like someone that doesn't want to live in reality, because it's almost too painful to live in the reality. So if I stay in this alternate state of mind, I can get through the day. I mean, I understand she said she's had some, she has ADHD and some other things that have went on, but I want the chat to make this really clear to the chat on my view. I am by no means whatsoever taking up for some of the actions that AP does. And one, acting like a child tonight by putting a strike on him on D.o.A. That was totally uncalled for. You don't strike every other one. And I've watched you watch other streams. She's watched other streams herself and restreamed them. She gets away with it by not putting it up on the screen and just listening to the sound. But it's like, to me, that was a very childish move on
Yeah,
her
I
part.
wasn't aware of that till I came in.
Yeah.
And I will say that the day, and I don't know what I can say because I don't want to get anyone in any kind of trouble, but there was a day that a certain person showed up in DC in order that
Yeah.
doing so to hope someone else had to leave.
Right. We know who you're talking about.
When she lit into her, I listened to that and I was like, okay, first of all, I hope that I never have to be in those shoes. If I ever need someone to take someone down verbally, I'm either calling AP or Scott. And I'm going to be like, because
Yeah.
the two of you have the gift of gab. and can do it. So I
Professional hecklers.
hmm? Yes,
Professional
professional
hecklers.
hecklers. That's a great way to put it. If I ever need it, that's who I'm calling.
And what's your thoughts about talking? This is a big talking point for people. A lot of people who support me but don't like this particular thing. What do you think about talking about Ashley's daughter or Ashley, Mickey's daughter? The whole like maggots in the mouth or the stomping on
Okay.
the flowers or any of that. What's your thoughts? Or even me saying I don't believe that Mickey is. I don't even believe you're her daughter. What do you think
Okay.
about that?
So there are times when some of the comments are slightly cringeworthy, like maggots in the mouth, that kind of thing. Not slightly. They're terrible visuals to have. But I will say this: I view it differently in this situation because Mickey is not simply a private citizen. Let me get a drink of water. I'm just getting over a cold. I'm a little raspy. When Mickey is on the corner, she is not a private. There is a private citizen, a grieving mother, someone who we would all see as a sympathetic character. We've seen Mickey reveal that her own personality. She's a thug. Times they tried to trap that guy in the elevator. You got that on tape. We've seen some of the other things she's done. So, and Mickey initially came out after Ashley was first killed, or first on that day, whatever people, I know some people don't believe she's dead. I do. So anyway, when there was initially reports that her mother had come out and said, in commented on the incident, saying that she did not agree with Ashley's actions and that they had been estranged. Now she's there. I don't see Mickey doing anything productive. And Mickey is a bit of a thug herself. So when she's putting herself on that corner as a protester, as an activist, as someone who's, you know, engaging in that behavior, then that's who she is in that situation. And she invites that, she puts herself in that arena. If she were just someone's mother who showed up one day to lay flowers on something in remembrance of someone, and someone came over and started screaming those kinds of insults at her, I'd feel completely different. But Mickey's not just there as a sad mom. Mickey is there. Um, I don't know what I know that it's not really a vigil. She calls it a vigil, but we all know that that's really not the atmosphere. And if you look at the company she keeps really questionable company with people who themselves have revealed themselves to have violent tendencies and do illegal
And
things.
J6ers and
Mhm,
pedophiles and all of the
exactly.
above. There's a couple of comments here that I think we need to address.
Oh, I can't
Ladies,
see into the
ladies on
chat.
the panel, research borderline personality. It's AP. Well, Julie, I'm not going to be a Google doctor, and I'm not a doctor, so I can only know what I know about things that I know about, like bipolar, because it's in my family, and ADHD and stuff like that. So,
Or I'll go to
um,
Wikipedia and look it up.
yeah. So, I'm not
Um,
a doctor. Vaughn said that AP had great potential. I lost that. Wait, AP had great potential, past tense, like Mel, wasted talent. Um,
AP
and
still has
then,
great potential. I
yeah,
mean, it'll just
she's
depend
young.
what she chooses to do with
It's
it.
the
I think.
choices that she makes from here on out,
Mhm,
for sure.
She's a
And
mhm.
then
street
Honey
hustler.
Maid,
She is. Yep.
yeah, she's a hustler, for sure, for
Street
sure.
hustler.
I'm telling you, put me
Yeah.
on the mean streets of DC and tell me to go figure it out and make my way and don't starve to death. Mm-mm. I would be dead the first day. I would be crying somewhere, calling somebody to come get me. I would fall victim to WTF there on the on the mall
and
under a tree.
and Lucy, what do you think about the Taylor situation? Just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Oh, okay. My take on Taylor is that a little bit all over the place. Taylor, I watched his live stream that morning, I'd watched some of his live streams up until then. First of all, he was hilarious. We had talked about his Taylor. It was when you were saying about, it was funny the day that he took the things away from Danny, stole his flag. It was his deadpan commentary that was so funny. He helped Danny, but he also had this deadpan commentary. I think that Taylor has serious mental health issues. I think that those mental health issues were what propelled him to do what he did that day. I hope that he gets the help that he needs. And I think that, it's hard to explain away. If Taylor had accomplished whatever Taylor was setting out to do that day, looking for the tunnels that would get him to wherever he wanted to go, how would he have defined that day of being successful? What would he have done if he had gotten to his destination? I don't think anything good. As far as obviously the police knew who he was. He'd been there for a long time. They weren't too concerned about him. Whether they were, at first, there were times I thought, well, maybe they're watching some of these people to glean information that would be useful to their purpose, but that didn't seem to be the case. So I think they.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Jump in.
Is he still in jail?
Yes.
Oh, so they can't blame him for the chef? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. So
They
that
can't
was.
blame him.
Nope, they can't blame him for the chef.
Lucy,
For the
do you truly believe that he was looking for tunnels?
I believe if I'm going just by what Taylor was saying, I'm not sure exactly what Taylor's plan was. If you just go by what he's saying, for me, it's a question mark. I'm not sure what he was doing back there, but I think that he struggles with mental illness and being able to trust his own thoughts if he's unmedicated, and trouble being able to make wise decisions, and maybe a little trouble distinguishing what is truly real and what isn't. I think he's a pretty smart guy, and I think in this case he needs more help than punishment. There may be some punishment for his deeds, but I think that probably what he needs would be to be inpatient until he is properly medicated and thinking clearly. And then I think it would be a very different Taylor.
Do you think that somebody who... Do you believe that he was involved with the death of Officer Smith?
Well, it's interesting because I hadn't really looked at that much of Taylor's footage from J6 until you had shown it, and I could kind of see what you were explaining. I have to say, I probably don't have enough information to make a definitive choice about whether I think he is or not. Now, some of the footage I saw that you played is probably not all of the footage of Taylor that day.
No.
So I feel like I almost don't want to voice an opinion because I don't know that it's based on enough information to make.
Look at you. You're pretty, where have you been this whole time? You're just entering in now.
I know. Is that a bad thing?
That was a very good answer. And I really respect someone not giving an opinion without all the information. And that interview I did not have all the information on the specifics of his civil case. And I just want to defend Taylor in the sense of the mental health.
Yeah.
If I was falsely accused of possibly being involved in the death of a police officer, and I had fought it for a couple of years and was not getting anywhere, that would have a dramatic effect on my mental health and my well-being.
Yes.
And so I'm not a doctor. I don't know how much of his mental health issues are from the war in Afghanistan, because I'm thankful that the Marines did not take me, and that because I would have been over there with some of my friends, and a lot of them didn't come back normal. They were
Right.
in the theater of war, and
Mhm.
so I'm just defending the mental state and the mindset where he might be. I feel like he actually believed McCarthy was going to give him videos
Mhm.
because he was a J6er, and I think he realized the reality that McCarthy was just using it as a talking point. And so, but I don't mean to. I would maybe if you did want to get a little more information on it, I would find
Mhm.
Ryan Riley's post about what happened to David Kaufman and what that judge said about specifically Kaufman, who is Taylor's co-defendant in the case of the death of Officer Smith. And like I feel this unbelievable urge to defend Taylor on the officer killing himself, because I do not believe, I have trouble saying that anyone on J6 is responsible for someone committing suicide 9 days later. Now, if there might have been some part of J6 that made him kill himself, but I have an even harder thing to put Taylor into that category, that he handed the cane to Kaufman and Kaufman caused injury, causing him to have a suicide. So, and I don't think the court systems are just. I do believe that he trespassed in the Capitol and it should be charged with trespassing. I have no problem with that. So I need to throw that out, because if I just sat here and didn't say that, I would feel bad for
Yeah. No, I think
getting
you should.
that.
Everyone should advocate for
Yeah.
something that
Town
they feel.
crier, it says that AP, no Google doctoring, but Taylor, we are Google doctoring. Town crier, I specifically think that, correct me if I'm wrong, D.O.A, that Taylor did say, he told us he was from Afghanistan. He told us that he had post-traumatic stress. So we already knew those things about him. So we already knew that he had some mental issues. Am I wrong on that?
I don't know. I know that he was taking medicine, and that
Yeah.
when he was in DC, the pharmacists were not filling his script. What he was
Right.
taking medicine for, what the public defender said about his mental health, that's all I know about the mental health. And all I could add is that my mental health, if it was me, if I was falsely accused of killing a cop, my mental health would not be good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Whatever Taylor's actual mental health is, I don't think any of us really truly know.
No, we don't know for
And
sure.
even the public defender saying it, a lot of times they say things for sympathy,
Yeah.
sympathy, and
Mhm.
it's not necessarily, it's a truth stretched out. So until I see some like medical records from the VA or something, it's hard to say. And I do agree with Town Fryer that if we're making judgments about one, we can't, because AP has said that she's got a bunch of different.
Yeah, AP has admitted her health issues.
Yeah.
But we can't say she's borderline personality. We don't know that. She never said that. We can only go by what she's told us.
Well, we all kind of have borderline personality.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
We all go through manic things and not manics. And like, I do go through my manics, but I don't really know anyone that I know that doesn't go through a manic episode somewhere.
Post-traumatic stress is absolutely real, Matt, because I had it. So I know for 100%, I can say post-traumatic stress is real. I had and have post-traumatic stress from a robbery. So I beg to differ
Was
on
it
that
WTF?
statement.
Were you jogging?
No, I wasn't jogging. I was at work, actually.
I bet you
And I got
all our
robbed.
mental health would be a lot better if we were all jogging right
Yeah,
now.
right. If we were all jogging right now.
I carry and run.
I was like, he's doing one hell of a job jogging and talking on the phone at the same time. Wow.
I know, I
Impressive.
was impressed.
Yeah, I was impressed. Yeah.
He's just got those stunning good looks. It's not AI generated at all.
No, not at all.
Well, let's see. Scott, what was your favorite thing from back on the mall? Did you have a favorite day or a favorite event?
I think one of my biggest emotional moments was the day they left, and I did like 3 laps around the mall, and there was a big lightning strike, and a couple people died in that lightning strike. I don't know.
I remember that.
And so that lightning strike happened when I was doing the loops, and like I saw some of that crazy lightning, and Sparrow honked at me as I was doing those laps, and so there was a sense of accomplishment in the laps, and they were the laps were so stupid in the convoy, but seemed so effective with them for some reason. So that would be, I loved all. I mean, it was such a
Shit show.
Yeah, like the first day when I thought I was just coming to maybe go be on the megaphone for a day or two, and then I didn't know what to expect. Like the people were just going to pack up and go or something. And when they all came out the first day, and it was me and Jay Matt, and they started body shaming Jay Matt, but they started talking in tongue. Mom and Pop were talking, or Mom was talking in like a tongue.
Really?
And, yeah, and that was it was the first time I put pineapple glasses on and my fur coat, because I was like, oh my God, this is a shit show. And this is going to be, no one's ever seen anything like this. She's talking in tongue. And so I don't know how much of that, of her talking in tongue that I captured, but it was the first like real moment that I knew that this was going to be something big. And I never thought, it was weird first dealing with jealousy. I didn't think that was going to be an emotion that I was dealing with. And actually Claude came up and asked for an autograph. He was the first person that like made me think that that YouTube, like I'm becoming like semi little famous because someone asked for my autograph. No one asked for an autograph, and he asked for AP had signed a pack of Newports of Claude's, and then I signed my D.o.A on the back. And at that point I was like, man, like what did I get involved in? This is
just
way
did some
more
voodoo crap on you.
What?
It is some voodoo crap on you.
So, but I'm grateful for all the experience, and I've changed so much in my mind of what I believe. But now I haven't changed my beliefs. Some beliefs have changed, but just how I talk to people and just getting used to being on stream and letting everyone attack everything that you're self-conscious about. You have to be okay with people talking everything that you're not comfortable with.
I couldn't do it. You must have developed a really thick skin. Now, I've been in.
All right, stop making fun of his weight.
What's that? Oh, no. No, not at all. Now, I do have, I have been in public office, and the first time a newspaper article comes out that just rips you to shreds, you're like, oh my gosh, that is so mean. And you're like, and it's just, you just want to cry and crawl in a hole and die. And you think that, I'm never going back to another. That's it. I'll quit. I don't, this isn't worth it. And then you don't. And if you're lucky, you have a good support system and maybe other people you're in office with. I don't want to say anything too revealing because, I'm often not trolling, but I have a few chats I pop in and out of to say my opinion until I get kicked out. And so I've seen what they do to people when
you're a troll. So you are a troll.
I guess it depends on whose stream I'm in.
What I as
trolling. What's that? I mean, when I go into mags, like I try to have conversation, but anything you say that if you are not a cheerleader if you are not a blind believer, if you're not like, yes, this is
You're
totally
true.
amazing, they
Echo
continue like,
chamber.
oh,
Echo chamber. Mhm.
And again, and he's another sort of, I would say an enigma, but we've gone beyond that. I think I really just realized that they sound like very nice people. They sound like a couple who loves each other and who have children. But when you look at the evidence, he's constantly picking the wrong team to get behind.
Yeah.
And it's like, Matt, does this, again, I want to say, is it really realistic to you? But, you can't, as soon as you say that. So I actually enjoy going in there. I have a couple of accounts, and I think I'm definitely blocked on 2. I'm trying to play it nice on 1 because I'm just going to wait till the day I really have something that's my good zinger that I can type it all out and get it said before I get blocked. And then I go in his Rumble. I forgot that I made a Rumble last year. I
don't know how you nice trolls can troll nicely for so long just to establish your name with the group and then
Yeah.
and
You
then
have
just the 1 or 2 zingers.
Since I'm not using my good name, my real name, I'm using an alias. I can say I can do that nicely too.
I have different. You have to have different. Okay, think of it like this: each of your troll accounts are a different part of your personality. There's some people I go in there and I can't say, and I just have to. And I'm not trying to like be mean, but I just can't hold back and have to say exactly what I'm thinking. And you get away with it for not too long before they're like block. And other people, you're like, okay, you're sort of playing a different character. They're like, I'm just going to show them a nice side for now. And I'm going to try to say the things that I say. I'm going to try to phrase it that they can't tell if it's a backhanded compliment that's really an insult or if I'm asking a genuine question. I don't want to give too many secrets away because they'll probably, next time I go in someone's chat, they're going to be like, oh, I know who you are, block. But
I'll
then
be the
you
one
just,
pointing it out.
What's that?
I'll be the one pointing it out who you
Yeah,
are.
oh, thanks a lot.
So you have a multiple personality disorder yourself, huh, Lucy?
Is it a disorder?
You just do it through different alt accounts.
But don't we all, if you think about it, like when I used to go out with our girls, we never gave our real name in the bar. We gave an alt name.
Yeah.
Our alter ego.
I didn't plan to, but the first time you're chatting and then someone blocks you, you're like, well, I wasn't done. And so you have to take the time to make another account and go back in. You're like, all right, I'll have to tread lightly. And
my gosh, when I first started out in this, what are we in, the second year now? I came in on my real name and then I quickly went, oh Lord, I need to come up with some fake names. And I got my name off of there real quick. So yeah, mistakes we learn.
Yeah, I used to give out my friends' names and number when I go out on a date.
That's so wrong. You guys, it's been real fun, but I got to get off of here. My other half has to go to bed, but I had a blast. Maybe I'll come back again some other time.
Thank you for coming up
with you.
It's been a pleasure. All right, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Scott, I think you should make a troll account. You would have so much fun just going in as a different. Oh, and make a woman. I learned that, okay, there is a particular live streamer that responds very differently to me if my one account has a male sounding name.
Okay.
I've never said, but the person treats me completely differently.
Yeah,
and if I go
in
in
the
there,
names that disappeared.
What's that?
I'm noticing on the screen the names disappeared.
Did you do it? Is this how it starts?
I'm curious. I'm trying to figure out what your alt accounts are or your names. You don't obviously have to tell me. But
you need WTFs?
And yours.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Is this Telescope?
Oh, yeah.
No. I'm in. Okay, let me think.
I'm fascinated by it. I like a little whizzy. No, you could be Rooster.
Oh, I will tell you. I don't know if you did or if it just sounded like it. Did you just say whizzy?
Yes.
Okay, there is, I don't know if you're on TikTok, but there is a man on TikTok who goes by Bears and Beers. And he's always shirtless and he's hairy. He's a bear. He's a gay man. He's a bear. He is a doppelganger for Wizzy. The first time I saw it, I'm like, oh, it's Wizzy. And I didn't know he was gay. He's never, maybe this is why he's angry. He won't come out of the closet. But it's not him. But if you look him up on TikTok, it is his doppelganger. And he even sounds a little like him.
Really? What's the Bears and what?
Bears and Beers. It's like bears and then the letter N and then beers. And he's usually, when you're scrolling through TikTok, like every so often he'll pop up. And I'm like, there's that guy who looks like Wizzy again. And maybe you have to see him talking.
RoboCock is gonna make fun of me for this one. Those are two of my words that I have trouble with. Bears and bears. Everyone's like, why would we? I was like, let's go have some beers. Like, why would we go after bears? Like, bears, the drinking, not the bear.
There's another one you had issues with. What was that?
Dairy and diary.
Oh,
No,
But
that's
people
not
like
it.
to make fun of my
I
actual
know.
Yeah.
See, this is also part of the charm. They have these little personality quirks that we get to. It's really people I've never met, and I can tell you a lot about your little personality quirks of people that are either endearing or that people are like, oh, that makes them mad. I guess it depends who you ask.
You either love them or hate them.
Love them or hate them. I know. Yeah. Every time you would roll in with that big laugh, especially in and I've worried about you a lot in Berkeley. I'm having what is it?
Berkeley County?
Berkeley County, yes, because those cops were just so supportive of the morons and just itching to take you in. And I was worried that it would end up just going too far, that something bad was going to happen to you. They didn't seem to haul Billy in after, he's threatening to shoot people in the face. That didn't seem to bother them much. But, to stand across the street with a bullhorn and just irritate the shit out of people, now that's a problem.
Yeah, they've all turned on Billy now. Now all of a sudden Billy's a psycho.
Oh, yeah. Now Billy's. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm ahead of the curve on a lot of the psycho calling out, but I don't know. I think if you didn't figure out Billy was a psycho when he pulled the gun out, then you're never gonna figure it out.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know that then, and then there are the little incidental characters who sort of just would bring fun to a day. Maybe they would show up and be a little fun. And I did love how when they were on the mall and sometimes when they were in the parking lot that they would swear that they weren't bothered by the trolls because Santa and God was telling them what to do, and they were very confident in what they were up to. But then you would see that they would get trolled hard on something and they would suddenly do something different. You knew what it was, in response to. When they would start taking their little walks up to the Capitol each day, which I know they felt was a big deal, but it was honestly no different than any other tiny little group of tourists. But it was because they were getting trolled for just laying around like beached whales in the grass all day.
They had to go and start doing something.
Mm-hmm. It was good to make it look legit.
That was Stormtrooper needed to get away, and that's why he went to the J6 Visual.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he believed in it, and at that time, I believed in the J6 Visual. I was pro J6. I mean, I definitely came way. Yeah, I definitely changed my views on that one. Yeah,
Stormtrooper found his little place over there, and they're very kind to him, but I don't think he realizes ultimately they're using him. But he's found a comfortable place to land, and they seem to be nice enough to him. So
everyone kind of seems to use everybody. I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Yeah. I think we all use other people for our own purposes, whether it's just talking on the phone for conversation or it's hard to say when that use is manipulative.
Yeah. I would say in the case of someone like Danny, who definitely, has his mental health struggles, or is he just low functioning? Is there something else, is there a different type of disorder there? I'm not sure, but obviously Danny has some difficulties, but I felt like there's a naivety in Danny that, and I felt like, he was an easy mark for them. He could hold down the corner, he could do little things, and then the way they turned on him, I felt bad for him. Whether I agree with Danny or not, I felt like he was taken advantage of.
Well, I kind of feel with the AP thing with Danny, I feel like she kind of like pretended to show compassion for him and then was calling the police on him. And I feel like those are two totally different actions. And for Danny's, some of the things that he says is just like borderline some of the things that Taylor was saying.
Yeah, you're right.
But then at the same time, I was amazed at his ability to show compassion for people who turned on him.
Yes, and I think that's probably at the core of who Danny is. But I think whether it's mental illness or drug or alcohol use, or that's damaged the brain, or whether he's low functioning in some other way, I don't know. I do think that, and I'm sure there are many things that I didn't see, but I think that there were times when she did show kindness to him. But I think that she is of a mind, anytime it goes far enough, once it gets to a place where it sounds like they're, was Danny going to do anything? Probably not. But some of those last threats sounded pretty serious. I don't know that Danny would follow through with anything, but we don't know that he wouldn't, to whatever degree he's capable of doing it.
I don't necessarily have an issue with somebody going and checking up on him. Sitting down, having a talk with him, like, hey, you said these things, I truly believe Danny believes he's in a war and he's fighting, a corrupt government, and he truly believes he's involved in changing the world. And I'm not defending or not defending. That's what I've taken from my interactions with Danny.
From Danny's perspective, yes, he's doing something very real for a very, very real purpose. He can't see outside his limited ability to understand what's going on around him.
Yeah, and I do think that he truly cares for Taylor because Taylor was a friend.
Yes, I agree. I agree. Now, I'll tell you what character you brought to the corner who was the scariest character so far was Iron Man. I don't know about you, but I was scared of Iron Man. And Tommy was terrified of Iron Man.
Well, the Antifas, I think they really liked Iron Man when they saw Tommy back up from him.
I think everybody was scared shitless of Iron Man. Some were just like, I'm going to be over here behind him. Because remember, he yelled at you when you took the Lord's name in vain one time. And I was like, oh, God, run away, Scott, run away.
Well, and he talks about how his entire life people have thought that about him. And he is like the biggest teddy bear, like caring person. I just left my friend at his house for almost 10 days. 5 days I wasn't even there. And not only did he help us and feed us and give us money and fill us up with gas, he called his friends in and took us out to the Navajo reservation to try to pull parts, but also brought that friend over to the house and he fixed the gypsy wagon so that we could get home. And
wow.
And so he had a beautiful garden that there's a pond attached to it, and he keeps bees and they got chickens, and he's just
mostly peaceful, natural,
very to
nature-loving soul.
Yep. And so I think he feels bad that people always thinks he's like this mean, aggressive. He looks mean and he sounds mean, right? But he's very, very caring.
I'm thinking if you get on the wrong side of him, he could be, because he Tommy thought he was going to step to him, and Tommy
Yeah.
stepped back real fast.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and he's just the type of person that you want on your side.
Yes, definitely.
You
I don't know
know,
how you've managed to get him to come out, but it was.
well, he started watching me when I did my crazy leaving the convoy stream. His buddy, because he was going to join the convoy, and his friend's like, you have to watch this video of this crazy dude who left, and then he started watching me there, and I went and visited him in Santa Fe, and it was an interesting experience because he was anti-vax and anti-mask, but
Mhm.
was very anti-J6.
Mm,
He was the first person that I experienced that held those two separate beliefs.
interesting.
And so he told me when I went there the first time that I was a pussy for crying that first day I went to the Freedom Corner, and that Mickey and them weren't, that you don't attack our capital. And
Yeah.
his
Good for him.
father was a previous prison guard, and so he
Mm.
has a prison guard father, and so he just offered me a unique perspective, and he was one of the people that made me start questioning my beliefs on the J6 stuff specifically. And I mean, I had already been going to the corner, but he really was just like, no, it was, you're a right-leaning person with right-leaning thoughts, but here you are going against the Capitol,
Yeah.
going against the J6
Good
narrative.
for him. I'm
So
glad he gave you that perspective.
it was cool because it was very polarized with the left and the right of what people believed. There wasn't much.
Over the last year and a half, I have spent a lot of time awake that I should have been sleeping, and not working that I should have been working, and doing other things that when I was instead watching all the shenanigans. And I remember for the morning that you went and stole the corner from them because Tommy fell asleep in his car, I remember I had fallen asleep. I woke up for something, and I just happened to make the fatal error of deciding to check my phone to see if anything interesting was going on. And you were laying in the back of your van giggling. I'm like, oh, what is he up to now? And said Tommy was asleep. And the fact that you went, and one of the beauty of you guys stealing the corner randomly, as you did, and they still do, is that once you stole that, they were so prepared the next day that they were like, we're going to get there first and we're going to have it. And you guys weren't there. Like the beauty was to just sort of come in like a sniper and to steal their thunder. It's so much fun for the rest of us. And they're so mad about it. And then they're all, ready for you the next day. And like, you don't let them know when or if you might be there at all. But they just have to wait for it and see. So
Yeah,
it has been so entertaining. And at the parking lot, I used to love the parking lot shenanigans.
in Bunker Hill.
Yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and Iron Man told me that if anyone ever lays hands on you, I'm coming. And that was when Joe Hasper came after me and was doing that whole thing and grabbed the umbrella. That was like, he called me that night and said, I'm on my way. I'm
Is that
leaving
what
tomorrow.
prompted him to come out when he came?
Yeah, because he told me if anyone lays hands on me, he'll come. And that
But
cost
he's
him.
a man of his word.
Oh,
And
he's
then,
very a man of his word. It cost him over, it was like $1,300-$1,400 for him to drive round trip.
oh, wow. And the
So,
fact that he put an end to all the parking down there by parking his trailer, that was gold. They all had
single-handedly.
yeah. And there they are, huffing and puffing up to the corner, carrying their stuff. And then you would play the Benny Hill theme. It was
A lot of fun.
it was a lot of fun. But again, even though it was a lot of fun, and it still is, even though it's winding down, it was still, there was at the core of it was a good cause, because they've what made it fun? We knew they were never going. They had these lofty yet completely undefined goals. They were going to undo all the 3-letter organizations, the CIA, all of them. They were going to restore a moral America, yet they couldn't define what that meant because they were made up of porn stars and drunks and brawlers and child molesters and criminals. But somehow they were the moral majority, and they would restore that. And it was like, well, how would you define? I used to ask, how do you define that? How do you enforce that? How do you lay that out? How will you know when you've done it?
Yeah.
And how will you not be in violation of the Constitution if you start telling people how to live? And that would be like troll and block. And then the restoring of what is it? The Republic. It was like, okay, how do you haven't even put that into words how you're going to define it, let alone how you would create policy around it. They couldn't do any of that, but they had these goals that they were sure that they could accomplish. And, they were living their little dream. But at the core of it, there were serious things. And I think one of the big fatal flaws, it was always going to grind to an end. But when Santa doubled down on allowing Marcus to stay, and the other one who didn't stay that long but was there, and when he started when Marcus was around, there became this rule suddenly that we're not allowed to film at Bunker Hill anymore. Only a couple people could live stream, and there was no free filming. And that was and there was the little chubby lady and her husband who used to come. They would go back because he had dialysis, and she was always in the hospital for something. He was, I think it was Jeff. I'd have to look up his live stream. But when they were on the mall one day, and they were headed back to Bunker Hill for the night, and they were grifting for an air mattress on the way back to Bunker Hill. She said that night that people were in her chat reminding her, you have to shut your stream off before you come in. And making sure that she's like, I know. And I was trying to pump her for information. And she's like, well, because it's private, who's there? I was like, who's there? And then she couldn't say. But there was another woman, and I'll have to look up now this name because she left a long time ago. There was a woman who was in an RV. She was sort of a free spirit, artistic type woman. I would know it if I heard. I still have her on one of the others in an old stream. She finally came clean and said that was one of the reasons she left was because there was this air of secrecy, and that there was no more live streaming at Bunker Hill because they didn't want anyone to catch Marcus on a live stream by accident. So no one was left. So Santa, as the leader, A, allowing him to stay, and then B, defending his decision to let him stay, lying about him being there. Doesn't matter how long or how often he showed up. Santa lied about it, and then shutting down streaming in order to hide his lie. That to me was, and Santa doesn't have the background, the training, the education, or anything else to support deciding whether or not Marcus would or wouldn't reoffend. There's no way for him to know that. And so for him to decide just out of pride, actually I don't think it's just pride, that he was going to let him stay and he was going to pick that hill to die on is what he did exactly. He picked that as his hill to die on. Nothing else he did was going to matter from then on because he was no longer could be trusted. And I don't think he kicked him out because at that point, D was running the show and D wanted him there. And Santa couldn't go after D because D and Hippie now were an item, and Hippie was controlling the money. They were all in bed together with the money. So Santa couldn't, and that's why when they first left the mall, Santa didn't want to go back to Bunker Hill. Remember, he went to the campground and he liked it there because it was peaceful. But Bunker Hill was now a party place, and D was in charge, D and Hippie and that crowd. And so I think that Santa had no power over whether Marcus stayed or went, but he wasn't going to admit that he had no power over it. He was just going to have to defend it.
Yeah, I mean that that probably makes more sense than anything that anyone's really said about that situation. But that was who I was harping about when I left the People's Convoy. It was Rat Rod, but Big D was in the pickup truck with Rat Rod.
Oh yeah, they were tied in a pair of butt cheeks for a while.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And then now they seem to have fallen out.
Yeah, they're all kind of turning on each other, and it's funny hearing Santa talk about Red talking about having sex with corpses, and now it's a big deal for him. It wasn't a big deal, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. It was okay, but now when it's directed at him, it's a different story.
Well, and Santa only made a big deal out of it because he got put in the spotlight. Mags, whether he meant to or not, he put Santa on blast for not having control of his own organization. Red and Mags were having a little back and forth. Red would insult Mags and say things, and then Mags would very passive aggressively, make videos and say things. He likes to pretend that he is above the riffraff, that he's above the fray, and he's holy and godly and doesn't get involved in the drama, but he is in the drama up to his eyeballs. And but if he sounds very reasonable, where Red sounds very trashy, then Red sounds better. And Mags is really good at, blowing sunshine up Santa's skirt. And he kind of needs it because, for whatever affiliation he still has, he wants to stay in Santa's good graces, probably for the endorsement of his book. If Santa says, go buy that book, then all those little 76 minions will run off and buy that book.
Well,
and
it definitely seems like Santa's influence is falling by the day.
Oh,
and
but yeah.
I'm amazed actually at how the whole pineapple thing has been so strong this whole time.
Well,
as stupid as that sounds.
No, I'll finish that thought and move on. But when Mags did his little broadcast where he said, we have all these questions. These are questions that people have been asking, that they were calling people trolls for asking. Like, what's the future? Why isn't this being handled? I mean, how is this happening? All of those questions were already out there. But Red was getting the better of Mags. And so I think Mags knew, especially when Plumber B came on, sort of defended him. And I think that then when he called in Santa either had to come out swinging to look like he was the guy in charge and save face, or look like he was a weak leader who couldn't handle his ranks. And so, of course, he was going to choose, but what Red had been doing what he was doing for how long, and Santa didn't bother with him. It was only when he got put in the spotlight that he had to look like the leader.
Well, yeah, because the other guys were like, this fucker's doing all this shit. Like, don't forget what he did at the mall. And exactly. I'm amazed at how, as Wizzy calls it, a NPC, a non-player character, because Red was pretty much a non-player character at the mall.
He really was.
You just saw him once in a while. He was on a scooter. He didn't do anything. And
he was just
He was
just the man behind Mel. Mel was the star on the mall out of those two. Yeah. Yeah.
So it was interesting to see where he went from nobody to having his own little gang of people.
Yeah.
That's what he's got now is a little gang.
Yeah, he does. But I think they've all sort of found they've got nowhere else to go. I mean, they're just swimming in a muddy pond these are people they have like 3 topics of conversation a day, and that's it. And Red has this obsession with saying the filthiest things, and then these people who they talk about being Christians, they all laugh. Sometimes they sound uncomfortable doing it, but they still laugh and support him when he says the most vile things, because they don't want to give up their little community. They don't have anywhere else to be. That's where they have found where they belong. And so they don't want to give that. They sort of, Red is kind of the leader, but he's not. He's just offers them, he owns the clubhouse, I guess is what it is. And they like hanging at the clubhouse with each other.
Yeah, and I think that like David Valentine, I think David Valentine's just a pushover, and he
Hmm.
doesn't have the spine to speak up, and
No.
that's Valentine's issue is the lack of spine, the ability to be like, hey, this is wrong. You don't
Yeah.
you don't do this, but because of the group, and I think that's how it is for a lot of this, all these little different groups. It's you start
Hmm.
speaking out against a group or somebody in the group, or you make a negative comment, and then all of a sudden you're out of the group. And then I see that with a lot of people just even supporting me, they get tossed out of a group, and then they're kind of in this middle of they don't really like me, but they supported me on this one thing, but they got thrown out of this group, and now they don't have that group to kind of, because there are these parasocial relationships that
Yes.
develop in the chats after being for a year. We all shared these comments and stuff in the chats. Friendships
Mhm.
began, and in those chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've had, shared experiences. You've had shared, conversations that some people like pop up in chat, and I don't know these people, but I always feel like they're a good time in chat. Like, who's one? Like, does he go by Bob Swagger? I think. Like, I know he's probably going to crack me up. There's certain. I think he's the one that's witty. Some people are very witty. Some people are friendly. Some people, whatever they're. So, and I think these people in Red's chat and others, you see them talking about their, their personal situations. They have found community in that little chat. And if that means lying to themselves and others that, oh, Red doesn't mean what he says, or oh, haha, Red, it's okay. He drops the N word constantly. If he's foul, if he says constantly, look, we're all grown ups, not a prude. Oh my God, he says makes foulest, constant sexual references and jokes. And I know 90% of those people probably don't actually think it's funny, but they're not going to go against him because, like you said, you'll be out of the group if you do.
Yeah.
And the pineapple references, so much of what they think is their little independence, they've taken it from you. I'm like, okay, you did not. So the pineapple glasses rolled in on Scott. If you don't like Scott, why has that become your symbol? The same, and I know a lot of people have said it with them naming the baby Legend. How long were you? That's how legends are made. That was like your anthem. And then if for them, it just cracks me up how many of your references they all still say, and they're just obsessed with it.
It's I'm not that special. I don't understand. I'll take it though.
Well, I mean, okay, I think the one reason that Dee brings it up a lot is they have to push the villain in order to be the hero so
Yeah.
that their chat will keep sending them money.
Yeah.
Because every time Dee rolls into a lot of things, and he had even said he came to DC the last time, because he has to. He's going to have to get out there every day because getting out there is what's getting them. They've got this $15,000 bill they've got to pay to repair the truck that they still owe $28,000 on.
Yeah.
So he's got to get out there, and so what they depend on you and AP and well, there were others. I don't think there are many around now, but they need you to be the villain in their story.
Yeah, every hero needs a villain.
Mm-hmm.
On Nemesis, it's part of the character.
That's right. That's what's kept it interesting for a year and a half.
Well,
I guess there's not going to be the reunion in September that was supposed to happen. Dee was hoping to have some sort of reunion at the mall around right after 9/11, but they just said today he's going on the road for like 3 or 4 weeks or something, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's the characters are all still here. It's just all been rattled around. So I always think it's over and it can't get any crazier, and then Then I wake up and I'm like, what the hell? Is this really happening?
Precisely. Santa pretty much stuck a fork in it and said it was dead a week ago, and then turned right back around and said he's reviving it, But they pretty much evolve every time we get to the end of something not working. When they were in Bunker Hill, eventually that wasn't working, and people were shaming them for doing nothing more than singing karaoke and hanging out, grilling and eating, and occasionally going into town and handing out flyers. So finally he had to come up with something, and they went in to DC and lived on the mall. They had kicked off the mall. Well, that didn't work out, but it was great. Instead of saying, well, we failed at that, he would be like, all right, so that chapter is ending, and now we are, we're just evolving. And so now we were going to go back and have Constitution classes and really buckle down and come back at it again. And of course, that didn't pan out. And then he wanted to go back on the road, so he came up with the whole board of directors thing. But each time you think it's done, it's not done.
It's a never-ending nightmare. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Lucy. I appreciate a new voice and a fresh.
Oh yeah, I'll be around again. It was fun. Sorry if I monopolized all of your chat. All of your panel time.
I needed some content besides me just standing talking shit. So I appreciate.
Well, I had so much to say, but I couldn't get in there and say anything.
Well, can we save it for another night? I'm like tired and I want to go to bed.
You were my favorite panelist. You just let me talk.
I stayed in my corner.
We know all about corners here, okay?
I'll be around. Shoot me the question list next time. I'll prepare for it. But, all right, well, have a good night, everybody. I was scared to go back and look at the chat now. I couldn't see it the whole time, so I'll just have to go back and see how much.
Well, everybody needs to hit thumbs up.
Everybody what?
Needs to hit thumbs up.
Oh, yes. Good thinking.
So tell them.
We don't need to grip for thumbs. I appreciate everybody. And, I think the chat was amazing. My chat has become so much, it's not so negative anymore. And I really appreciate that. So,
I wish they had a thumbs up and a middle finger one.
I would advocate for flicking me off. Go fuck yourselves.
Yeah.
In a nice way.
You'll get the views.
You can't hit the thumbs down because I think they tell them who hit the thumbs down. It's like, well, why am I going to do it if you're going to tell them it was me?
Yeah, stupid. All right. Thank you guys so much. It was a very great
good to hang out.
I learned a lot. Thank you.
Yeah. We'll do it again soon.
I'm new to this, so after hearing all this stuff, it's interesting.
I want to do more panels. I got a lot of guest speakers that are going to come on from Facebook. My professor friend was going to come on tonight, and he bailed on me. But I plan on having some fresh faces come in here with fresh perspectives.
So when
are you going to have Summer on this?
We'll see. We'll give an invite to Summer. I'm going to talk about Breonna Taylor.
I'll be around in your chat.
All right. Thank you guys. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thanks. You too.
Okay.
Bye.
Don't get into any dark vans, everybody.
You're creepy.